Hello and welcome to another heart-pounding episode of the Hellion Rebellion Rock and Roll Association, brought to you by Holly Geist. Oh, we got some massive riffage coming your way tonight. But first, we have to do a moment of silence for a rocker who goes by the name of David Ball. He was a part of the early 80s electronic duo Soft Cell. I'm pretty sure you know who Soft Cell is. I don't care if you're 17 years old and in high school right now. There's a good chance that you have heard the song Tainted Love. And even though I'm not familiar with Soft Cell growing up in the 80s, I knew that song. Marilyn Manson did a pretty good version of that song as well. So let's go ahead and give our moment of respect to David Ball, who lost his life this week. Ow, ow. All right. May David Ball from the group Soft Cell find having to be filled with padding and opulence as he begins to reside in his newfound life. So tonight, we are going all the way to Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is a city that is known for its many oak trees. I think some people call it the City of Oaks. It's also a part of what's called the Triangle Research Center or Triangle Research Area. And that area, I can't remember all the different areas that correspond to create this, but I know Chapel Hill is one of them. And that area has roughly, let's go with about 3 million people. Raleigh itself is probably home to 1.5 million people. Very large area. Other than that, I don't know much about that city. But I do know this. One of the greatest punk rock, hardcore, and heavy metal bands of all time comes from Raleigh, North Carolina. And that band is called Corrosion of Conformity, or COC for short. Corrosion of Conformity would get started. I'm gonna go ahead and guess around 1984, 1985. They would be in the beginning. They would be an extremely crusty hardcore punk band with the legendary record "Eye for an Eye." Their second record, Animosity, would probably be more of a crossover record. It would still be probably more punk than metal, but it's definitely one of those classic crossovers of the 80s during that time period. They would put out a third record called Technocracy, which I'm a huge fan of Technocracy. And it would extend what they were doing with Animosity, but the lyrics were a lot cleaner. The music was more produced. The music was a lot cleaner. And then by 1989, 1990, they would put out what I consider their greatest record, a record called Blind. And that record would be kind of a transition of Corrosion of Conformity going into a way more traditional metal route. Blind is kind of a combination of metal. Well, not metal. Well, it is metal, but it's not thrash metal, but it's very fast. It's very quick. It's very succinct. It's very in your face. But it's still not quite thrash music. But I wouldn't call it punk music. And I call it a bridge because it would go into the '90s, what I consider the Pepper Keenan years. Pepper Keenan is the main vocalist and rhythm guitar player of Corrosion, and he would start with this band, I think, with Blind. Though I think he only does one song on the album Blind. But I've always considered the '90s to be the Pepper Keenan years. And the Pepper Keenan years would give us this really groove based, really heavy version of Corrosion of Conformity. It would start with an album called Deliverance. It would go on to Wise Blood. And then it would be this one, America's Volume Dealer, which is this is probably this is probably my second or third favorite Corrosion record probably. There's a fourth one. I'm not familiar with the fourth one. That one would come out in 2000, 2001. Actually, this is 2000. So yeah, the fourth one it's probably more 2002, 2003. I think it was called By the Grace of God or In the Arms of God. I have to admit, I'm not familiar with that one. So maybe there's really four Pepper Keenan records. Again, what I call Pepper Keenan records. After that, Corrosion would get back some of their original members from the '80s, and they would go back to not like the first record, Eye for an Eye. That's just this hardline, hardcore, crusty punk record. Classic if you're into that style of music. But probably more in line with Animosity or Technocracy. It was kind of refreshing to hear them go back to that sound again. Um, but I do like this era of Corrosion. So I'm gonna showcase a song off of America's Volume Dealer tonight. Again, the '90s for Corrosion really was a very heavy riff based, almost southern rock sound to this band. It was radically different than what they had done in the '80s. Um, very in tune with all the hard rock of the '90s because all of a sudden COC is getting all these gigs with major label uh, accolades. They're getting these gigs with all these bands like Pantera, White Zombie, Alice in Chains. They're going on all these big metal festivals. So the 90s really promoted these guys way more than the 80s did. So let's go ahead. I'm going to play probably one of the more chilled out songs off of here called Stare Too Long. Um, and I hope you enjoy it. I love 90s COC. I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, yeah. That speaking of Southern rock, that song has Southern rock written all over it. Uh, yeah, there you go. "Stare Too Long" by Corrosion of Conformity. That's a wonderful song. Absolutely love it. When it comes to those '90s trifecta Pepper Keenan records, this is definitely the one for me. Um, I don't know. What do you think? If you're a Corrosion of Conformity fan, I mean, would you? I've always wanted to see this band with all of their members do a major tour where they represent every era of what they have done, in rock and roll history, because every single record is a little bit different. Um, for everything from their crusty hardcore punk to this riff based, groove based metal to this crossover stuff they're doing today. It's such a strange band, and a band that just has many sounds. Um, but okay, that's all I got for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Uh, Remember, keep your people safe. Love one another. Peace.